Kirby Air Riders is back, and y'all not ready to see what peak air riding looks like. How's it going, everyone? So as most of you know, there is a rumor about a July Nintendo Direct that's supposed to be happening this week. As of the recording of this video, with only 3 days left of July, the Direct most likely will be either this Wednesday or Thursday. So before that gets announced, if the rumors are indeed true, I want to share my hopes and wants for the game I'm most excited for to learn more about, being Kirby Air Riders. It's been 22 years since the first game, Kirby Air Ride, first came out, and to finally have a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time coming out in 2025 has me hyped. Now with all that hype, I have a lot of hopes and wants that I'm looking forward to seeing in Kirby Air Riders. Most may seem far out there, others may sound reasonable. Either way, we're here for a good time, so let's get started. Oh, but before that, don't forget to leave a like and comment on the video if you're hyped as well for this game. And while you're down there, commenting your hopes and dreams, subscribe to the channel to see more prediction videos like this one. Alright, now for those of you who aren't familiar with Kirby Air Ride, it's essentially just another kart racer. We have your racing mode and your different vehicles, of course, so that isn't out of the ordinary. But what really matters when it comes to this series, since we can call it a series now, is the city trial mode. This right here is probably the best part of the games and where most of my hopes, predictions, wants, and all that will be about. Not to say that the general racing mode and top ride mode are bad, but if you ask anyone who loves these games which mode they're most excited to play again, it will probably be City Trial. City Trial is essentially a Battle Royale mode, but on karts. And with Battle Royale being something that everyone's familiar with in this day and age, I have no doubt that this mode is going to get a bigger focus in Air Riders compared to the other two modes. Now, what I want to see in this mode is, of course, bigger maps. The first game map worked well on the GameCube back in 2003, but it's 2025 now, and the Switch 2 can handle a lot more power compared to the GameCube. So getting a way bigger map should be feasible right now. Now, let me get a bit crazy here, but I'm hoping Daddy Sakurai looks at all the games released within that 22-year time span and pull for them to create a lot more engaging areas. We know the first game had specific areas like the volcano, the forest, the underground, the small castle, etc. So hopefully we can get more areas to explore. I would love to see natural plains and ride through the mall or go to Wonderia Remains and grind on the roller coasters while looking down at everyone. This could also go into the events with natural plains. We could get an event with Goramondo comes out and attack us in the area, or have Chlorine mess with us in the Wonderia Remains area. You know, something crazy like that. Now, if they want to go the route of having maybe bigger maps than Air Ride, but not massive maps like Warzone and Fortnite, I can see them making maps based off the games, well, specific games to be exact. So instead of having just natural plains and Wonderia Remains on one map, they can have a Forgotten Lands map that incorporates those two, and also Winter Horns, Redguard Forbidden Lands, and Original Wasteland. They can make a Squeeze Squad map with Prison Plains, Secret Sea, Cushy Clouds, and Jan Jungle areas. These specific maps could be a great way to call back on the history of Kirby games, since Kirby is Sakurai's baby, as we all know. So what better way to celebrate than to just stuff as much areas from multiple games into specific maps, or just one giant map instead. Sakurai could just take the volcano level from one game, this ice level from another game, plains, jungles, blah blah blah, you know, wastelands, you know, whatever area from a specific game, and put it in one map. And then it'd be up to us to go around the city trial to figure out what games that these areas came from and what inspiration they took from. But yeah, I fully expect us to see a much bigger map that is also a bit more detailed compared to Air Ride. Look, I love Air Ride, but I think we can all agree that we come a long way since 2003, and the visuals for the city trials are fine for their time, but now looks a little too simple. I'm just hoping for something that's at least close to Forgotten Lands. I know that's probably a lot of work, but I'm sure Sakurai and his team can handle it. Moving on to what I think will be the second biggest thing for the entire game, not just City Trial, but also Air Ride mode and Top Ride mode, is new copy abilities. Kirby Air Ride only had 11 copy abilities in the game, which was fine back in 03, but within 22 years between these two games, we got a boatload of new abilities. So I would hope that we increase that number by, say, double. 22 abilities sounds reasonable enough when you think about how Mario Kart World has about 30 items to play with. Now, I could list a bunch of abilities that I want in, but I'd rather make a separate video for that. But just to name a few that I would want to see make appearance in the Air Riders, they will be Animal Kirby, Cutter Kirby, Hammer Kirby, Laser Kirby, and Missile Kirby. Of course, there's a whole bunch that we can name, hence why I would like to make a separate video, maybe ranking them, or better yet, asking you guys which abilities you want to see and turn that into the video. If you want to see that video, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Either way, Kirby has a long list of abilities that he can pull from and could be used in the new game, and I'm excited to see which ones get in. Now, on the topic of abilities, I do wonder if they will do evolved abilities in this game. Evolved abilities debut in Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and it was really cool taking old abilities like fire and ice and being able to evolve them into stronger versions of themselves. For example, fire evolving into dragon fire, or ice evolving into frosty ice. Now, how would this work in game though? Well, what I would imagine is taking our fire ability here would be that once you have fire, you will then be able to collect a second fire ability, thus evolving your current ability into either volcano, fire, or dragon fire randomly. Or running into a sort of ability upgrade item that will be around the map that would then evolve fire randomly into either the two I just mentioned. I can see a way how this can work. Whether or not it will be in the game is another story, so don't get your hopes up too high for this mechanic, but I really love to see it in. Or another way is to have the evolved abilities just be regular abilities that you can pick up like the rest, but just make them like rare to find like the Dragoon and Hydra pieces. Moving on to characters, now with Kirby himself being tied to abilities, this is where things get a bit tricky. I can see Sakurai putting Bandana D and Suzy as playable characters that they will just have to have exclusive moves sets like how King Dedede and Meta Knight have in Kirby Air Riders. Meta Knight is essentially just Ring and Sword Kirby as one, while King Dedede is just Hammer, so someone like Bandana D would probably just be similar to Spirit Kirby. If I'm correct about there being new abilities in this game, I can see Sakurai not really focusing on putting in too many characters, as they wouldn't be able to really use the abilities in the game compared to Kirby. Meta Knight and King Dedede were nice to play around with in Air Ride mode, but you couldn't use them in City Trial mode anyway, outside of Free Roam. So in actuality, there really isn't a purpose to include different characters in Air Riders right now, as we're all more than likely will be playing City Trial mode for the majority of our time playing this game, and would rather play around with Cutter Kirby, for example, than to use Sword Kirby for the whole entire match. Okay, so with bigger maps and new abilities out of the way, what is left to see? Of course, new tracks for Air Ride mode, probably either new ones or ones based off of various different titles. New abilities and map for Top Ride mode as well, though I wonder just how many of you guys actually played that mode. It's a fun mode actually. The mode is fun to play once you get the controls down, but I probably see this as the least played mode compared to the other two. So what could be left? Well, what if, and I'm gonna sound crazy here, what if we get cosmetic packs for Kirby? Hear me out. As we all know, Smash Bros is one of Nintendo's biggest games, which happens to also be a game directed by Sakurai himself. So I can totally see a world where we could be able to gain different cosmetic appearances based on the copy abilities Kirby get in Smash Bros. Like, could you imagine driving around with Mistress Glorious Golden Locks flowing in the wind as you try to kill that Kirby running around with the Captain Falcon helmet on, trying to get on a new cart? It would be kind of cool to have Smash Bros packs that we can buy that let us take on the appearance of our favorite Smash Bros characters. You telling me you wouldn't pay to have a Mario hat or a Link hat on your Kirby as you drive around City Trial? Look at Call of Duty. We got Nicki Minaj and all her thickness running around with Snoop Dogg killing the RX-782 Gundam. That doesn't sound right. And don't even get me started on Fortnite. Basically, cosmetic packs is a genius idea that I think will only benefit the game. I feel like deep down inside we all kind of wish that Smash Bros did some sort of cosmetic pack that wasn't tied to just the Miis, that we could buy to obtain skins for our favorite characters. Because being real, a lot of Smash Bros characters got the short end of the stick in the skin department. Sorry Sonic, I love you guy, but man, Sakurai kind of did you dirty here. So, cosmetic packs for Kirby Air Riders would probably not only just sell well, but will keep people coming back to play the game, in my humble opinion. I guess anything's here, because I don't want this to be a long video or anything. Last thing we need is online play. We have to have online play as well as local play in this game. I think we know when it comes to online play, Nintendo can be kind of annoying in this department. Either it's not good, looking at you, Mario Strikers Battle League, or it's difficult to navigate in some ways. Online play is essential for the longevity of this game, and you can have this game just be local play or online play with just your friends list. This has to be done well, and I'm hoping it's done well. Also, side note, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I would love to increase the player size in City Trial from 4 to 8 when it comes to online at least. We can keep 4 for local mode, but for online, I feel like with bigger maps, we need a bit more Kirby's driving around. Within Kirby Air Ride, the City Trial map wasn't the biggest thing ever or anything, but I did feel that it was a bit difficult, not majorly, but just a bit, to run to other players, aka the computer or maybe your friends, out on the map. They're driving around and you're driving around, so it's super easy to not run into each other or zoom past without hitting them. So increasing the player size to have a lot more people on the map at once gives us a lot more opportunities to run into each other and sabotage one another before time runs out and we move on to the event game. So a good online mode with an increase in player size for City Trial is something that I'm wanting and hoping is in the new game. Also, add a 10-minute option for City Trial because I think 7 is a little too short, especially if the game has online mode. Well, that does it for this video. Let me know you guys' predictions, hopes, and wants for Kirby Air Riders. Also, which abilities do you want to see most get added to the game? Let me know all that in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button for more videos like these, and to see more videos like these, hit that subscribe button. I know you wanna. Alright, with that, I'm out of here. Later.